Hey, Facebook family, good afternoon, good evening. This is Brother Toby, man. Got a new live stream for you all. I really want to harp on the men. Of course, it's always free for everybody to watch, look and listen. I mean, it's fine. I'm not biased when it comes to my live streams, but I really felt led to speak on these things. Um, you know, as always, I hope everybody's doing well. Forgive me if I'm squinting, it's because my eyes like really dry. Seasonal allergies is really coming into effect today. I'm tired because I've been working out. Just studying, man. Got so much information I got to cram in a short amount of time that I have. So it's just life in general. You know what I'm saying? Bible says that life of man will be laborious or laborious and full of strife. So yeah, man. In the day, I just want to speak out real quick to whoever is available to watch. Of course, if you missed it, then you can always go back and watch it later. It's greatly appreciated. Send out some invites really quick. Again, I'm about to go very, about to jump into some deep waters here. So don't take offense to nothing I'm about to say. If you're a mature man, I believe in my heart of hearts that you will understand where I'm coming from. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Truth is going to offend people anyway. It's called conviction. Point is to not condemn nobody, just to, take heed to the warnings and get right or fly, fly straight, whatever the case you may say, But that's it, okay. See what I got watching real fast. See, Deja, how you doing? All right, cool. I got other people watching. Okay, so back out a little bit. Sorry, get my camera straight. All right, so man, listen up. All right, the first point I want to make first, the topic of this live stream is going to be being a one-woman man. All right, what does that look like? Basically, is this okay? Excuse me, throat's getting dry. Listen, man. Despite what society may say, despite how you may feel, despite what's going on, what your brothers are doing, what other people are doing, especially being in the military. All right, I've seen a lot of things, and one of the things that I've seen, one of the things that I've heard that I've been told, I'll say a much younger man, is when I first got married, the first time, I do have a previous marriage. All right, and I'm not ashamed to say that because I went into that first relationship the intent of it making it last forever. Okay, I didn't get married for no money. I didn't get married for no do in order to get out of a temporary situation. That wasn't my case. All right, I got married. What would you say? I'm a hopeless romantic. All right, my heart of hearts. This is kind of intro as into what I'm about to say later. And I'm not gonna make this video long because I got a lot of work I gotta do. So I got into the marital relationship because I fell in love with a person at the time, and at the end of the day, I wanted that relationship to last for the rest of my life, and that is the intentions of being married. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. It's a lifelong thing. It has nothing to do with your temporal feelings. All right, how do I know? Look here, man. I'm a married man, okay? Some days my wife loves me. Some days she can't stand me. She doesn't always feel like loving me. And guess what? I don't always feel like loving my wife. But I take heed to what my vows were, not only to her, but to God, to my children, and to my family. So at the end of the day, it's my word, my word and my actions said, and that, precedes how I feel emotionally, if that makes sense, okay? So again, I was in it for the long haul. Of course, my first relationship ended. I'm not gonna get into what happened there. People who do know me and people who are already aware of that scenario, they know what time it is. But I'm not gonna like reopen someone else's past. End of the day, she's doing much better with her life, and so am I. And I have no hate nor no animosity towards her. And now I'm in my last marriage, my current marriage with my wife, and my commitment is to love her for the rest of my life, to cherish her, to honor her, to raise our children, because I do have an older son that I inherited through my wife, and I have an older daughter, and I love them equally as I love my son Chris, who just turned 5 the other day, and my baby girl Yomi, who looks just like me. Just imagine me with a freaking curly weave, and yeah, that's my daughter Naomi. So yeah. So in the day, I've chosen to be a father. I've chosen to be a dad. And so that's that. Okay. In the day, I'm not the dad that loves the term step parent, step dad, or step anything. I hate the term because, again, I know people personally. I've seen relationships where people had better, people have had great relationships with their maternal and paternal parents as equally as critical as a relationship with a parent that wasn't, blood. So what am I getting at? You may be saying, why are you saying all this, Brother Toby? So the deal is, it's what a person does. It's their commitment to raise a child. I know people who've adopted kids, and in this culture that we live in today, it should not be any surprise that you may have a dad who's a different nationality, who's a whole different demographic. Dad may be Caucasian, Asian, African American, whatever. End of the day, that man or that woman, I'm going to use this for a second as an example, took the notion to raise a child. You know what I mean? And that's the ultimate thing. As long as that child is loved, as long as that child is being taken care of, not being abused, it doesn't matter if you have the same last name. Because both my older kids are Spanish. But anytime people have came across me or have encountered me, I've always said, this is my daughter, this is my older son, this is my older daughter. Point blank, period. And the funny thing is that both my babies look just like them when they're children. That's the crazy thing, So I say all of that, guys, just to say this. You probably like, man, he sounds like an old man just rambling right now. I'm rambling because I take pride in being a dad. I love being a father. It's something that I prayed about even when I was 18 years old. I've always prayed to God, Lord, just give me, I just want to be a dad that has a house, a cool dad, that's loving, stern, but yet gentle at the same time. And yeah, I'm still learning, a lot of things, but I thank God that I've had plenty of practice with older kids and plenty of experience. So that's that. Now, here's why I switch gears, switch narratives here a bit. When it comes to men, brothers, because I'm in the military, so I've seen a lot of things. I've seen I've seen people literally, live double lives. I've seen people go outside of their marriage, entertain other people, have these extramarital affairs when we go to a different place in the world. I've seen people on the pier, hugging and crying with their loved ones, and and this goes for women too. But I want to address men, and this is the reason why I'm saying this, and I'm gonna tie it all into what I'm saying now. I've seen these people do these things, and then when they hit a different country, they see beautiful women. They see people who are very attractive, and the ring goes off, and some people cheat with their rings on, and they're creeping into hotels together. They're and it always starts small, and it just compiles up, and sometimes they have sex. They get drunk, they have sex. Sometimes it's just a one-time thing. Some people, it may be an extra relationship on the side, so that person becomes a side piece, and they're still communicating with the loved one back home and saying, "Oh yeah, things are fine, things are great. I love you, I miss you." And like I said, I've seen a lot, with my time in being in the military. And I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. That's not what I'm saying. But here's what I am saying. All right, I say this as a Christian, I say this as a father, and I say this as a man. As a Christian man, it is so important that you realize that when you open up that door, when you entertain lust, you entertain conversations that you shouldn't have, or everything starts small. It starts as a seed. It finds that fertile ground. It gets watered. It's literally, sin is like a plant. It takes a small seed. It takes a trigger. Thank you, Lord. It takes a trigger, a seed. It's tossed into the ground. It gets watered. It starts growing. It becomes a plant. It becomes a tree. It has leaves. And in some cases, it grows fruit. Now, that being said, when you as a man, first of all, your marriage is before God. Your vows are before God. It may be menial to you in a sense, but God takes marriage very, very seriously. And the reason why that is because, and then I'm going to speak on divorce as I'm, tying all this in, y'all. So kind of bear with me for a second. When you take these vows before the Lord, He takes it serious. It's like you literally are signing your name, on a contract. And you know that when we sign contracts, business deals, what type of writing instrument do we normally sign in? It's not with a highlighter. It's not with a pencil. It's with a pen. Why? Because you really can't erase a pen. It's written in ink. But the commitment that we commit to, or that we say, is written in our spirits, is written in our heart of hearts, and it's there. It's eternal. It's eternalized. Because why? Because it goes before the Lord and creator of all things, the God of heaven. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. It's allergy. I ain't got no Rona. All right, it's not no Ronavirus. All right, it's a little nippy in here. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So, end of the day, your vows are written in spirit. They're written in pen. And when you get married, the traditional wedding, you say this in a setting where it's before your parents, their parents, the family, the whole nine. So there's all these people that you've commended yourselves to where you said, okay, you know what? This is my wife. This is my husband. Or for me, I'm sorry. And this is my wife. I love her. Whatever. And I get sometimes, man, people get hurt and they do things to get back at people, which is not the right thing to do. Or they say things out of spite, do things out of spite because they've been cheated on or whatever. But as a man, the reason why I'm harping on the men this evening is because God has created you to lead. You were created to lead your family. You were created to have one woman, and if you decide to build your family with that one woman, it needs to be with that one woman only, that one lady, point blank, period. It doesn't need to be with a whole bunch of other people. Listen, man, like I said, it's going to be kind of graphic, but I got to go there. At the end of the day, guys, men were visual. We love shapely women. We love women who have awesome, amazing bodies. Nowadays, it's like you don't know who got what. You don't know what's real because everything's synthetic. Everything is injections and all that. But I grew up in the 90s, so you didn't have a lot of women that had a lot of, I'll say, surgeries. Now, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with, I'm not bashing or condemning cosmetic surgery. Of course, there are limitations. There's things that make it reasonable. I get that. But when you got like a fake everything's fake, and then it's like, okay, so what part of you is actually natural, or real? But again, this is just my, food for thought. But you ain't gotta take that. You're gonna be attracted to other people. You're gonna see people who look gorgeous, amazing, the whole nine. But again, it goes back to you being a man of your word. And the reason why it's more about your word, your vows, and your commitments, because as a man, we have principles in everything that we do and say. And so, at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world as a man. You can have all of these different things as a man. You got the biggest house, the fastest cars, the whole nine, but and all of this money. But if you cannot honor your word as a man, then you have literally nothing. So what am I saying here? At the end of the day, if you're a married man who chose to commit to one woman to be with one person, that's what it needs to be. You don't have to have all these extra marital affairs. And this is where I kind of transition to my second point. That was a big first point. Here's my second point. And it kind of goes back to what I was just saying about entertaining people that you see because they look more attractive. They look appealing at first. Anybody can put it on the front. Anybody can basically lure you in with a certain bait. But once they get that bait, and once you fell for the bait, then they can go ahead and go on. You know what I'm saying? So being a married man, it is very, very detrimental to your family when you go outside of your marriage because of how someone else looks in comparison to the wife that you have, and you end up getting that person pregnant. Now, mind you, you may have children, you may not have children, but not only do you have one woman that you're already dealing with as a husband, but now you have another person to deal with. Now you have another person that you got to deal with for the next 18 years. And the reason why I'm harping on this a lot, guys, is because there's a spiritual aspect to these things. There's something that's called soul ties. All right, soul ties. Long story short, it happens when you have a super strong, I would say, connection to a person spiritually. Most of the times, it's contracted by sexual intercourse. Because for some reason, man, some people believe that, can I go there, Lord? Some people allow how a package looks per se. Some people will allow that to dictate. Okay, Lord, I gotta say it a different way. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to be super, super graphic, but okay. Just because our car looks fast and it sounds good, that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna last you all the way. If that makes sense. So you may see, wow, that car looks really nice and really good, but then once you get in the car, man, this car got a whole bunch of miles on it. Man, it hasn't had an oil change in a long time. It hasn't had this, that, the third, whatever. So what am I saying, guys? Don't be fooled by a package, because, she has a nice body, or her body's like this, she smells like this, whatever. Again, that's how God wired us as men. We're attracted to what we see physically. But you cannot use that as a reasonable excuse to go out and lay down with somebody else. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make amends. Yes, you can make amends. Yes, there is forgiveness. However, there are so many more, I'll say, issues that you created because of you going outside of your commitment, your marriage, your relationship to your spouse, your wife. In a day, it was not God's intention for you to have one wife and 5 baby mamas. For one, all right, and I'll be real with you, and you can say what you want about me, I do not care. And then I'm going to address something that I notice that women tend to do that are normally in these scenarios. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I'm saying it from experience. I'm saying it from people that I know personally. All right? It's just, you just a sorry dude if you feel like it's okay to have one wife that gives you everything you need sexually, take care of the house, make sure you're good financially, does either meets you right where you're at, and or can do that and above. If she is at least meeting you there and above, and yet you choose to go outside of your marriage, then I can't respect you as a man. Because you have all that you need. So why are you even entertaining somebody else? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not judging nobody. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not saying that. But when you just make a mockery of marriage and you make a mockery of the marital relationship because of some brokenness that you have, and you haven't really addressed that as a man, and you know it's there, then yeah, it's a coward move. And that's something that needs to be rectified. And so what I would say is find out why you have this brokenness as to where you feel the need to just lay down with everybody that you see, even if you got a solid relationship at home, and by you being irresponsible in bed with this other lady in person, you gotta deal with the consequences of having these beautiful children with these people, because children aren't mistakes. They're not. The sex may be, but the children are not. Kids are gifts from God's, or gifts from God, and at the end of the day, they're here. So whether you wanted to have them or whether you didn't want to have them, they're here. Now you, as a man, have to do your financial. You have to meet these. You have to meet this criteria as a man to take care of them financially. You got to make sure that they're well fed. They're getting their hair done, their haircuts, shoes for school, clothes, and all that. And depending on, here's where I kind of switch gears. When you're dealing with a bitter baby mama or a bitter woman, she's gonna go to court on your behind. She's gonna take you through the ringer, because let's say that you probably said to her something along the lines of, "Oh no, yeah, I'm single. Yeah, I ain't doing this. I'm single. I got my own business, my own job." And come to find out, she finds out that you're married. She finds out that you have this whole family, and she does nothing more about a side piece. And she finds out about that through somebody else or a source. She's gonna eat you alive. And she's carrying your child, and she has your child, and she knows what type of monetary. I would say, basically, she knows how much you get and what you're doing with your money. She's gonna take you for everything that she has. And here's where it gets twisted up as far as child support goes. Child support is for the child. Listen to it, child support of the child. But when you have a bitter woman who is getting revenge, she's going to use that child as a pawn to control and manipulate your heart. And you can get mad at me. Some of y'all, as a woman, might get mad at me because some may do it. I've seen it happen. It is what it is. Because of how certain women feel about that, they will use that child as a pawn to make that man give them that extra $1,000, the extra $10,000, or whatever the case. And some women will do that so that they can take care of their child that they had together. But some will just basically take that money and take care of themselves, get some new shoes, new clothes, new bags, purses, cars, whatever the case, because suffer. So, as a man, that is something that before you even lay down in bed with that lady, am I willing to go through all of that heartache and pain just so that I can get pleasure for this one night with this one person? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. End of the day, if you feel okay, thank you, Lord. If you're feeling weak in your flesh, then that's when you need to go back to your wife and tell your wife verbatim how you feel sexually. Babe, I'm sexually frustrated. Babe, can we try this? Can we try that? Hey, it's your marriage. The Bible says that the marriage bed is under fire and the confinement of your bedroom. It's okay unto God. God ain't got no problem with it. That's what sex is for. Sex is for not only procreation, but for recreation for you and your husband, or for the husband and wife. But society will flip it and pervert it. That's why you have pornography, bestiality, You have perversion as far as older guys and you know, a 50-year-old guy trying to get at an 11-year-old girl, 12-year-old girl, and it's just disgusting. It's grotesque. So again, that's just another side piece. I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, as a man, you really have to think about those things, and you got to say to yourself, is this you know, sexual experience worth all of these years and years of pain when I have something good at home? Some guys like to learn the hard way. It's sad, but at the end of the day, that's what they got to do. But they ain't got to do that. They can learn from other people's, you know what I'm saying, experiences and mistakes. And so, at the end of the day, just because a girl got a big booty or a nice chest or whatever's going on, whatever your fancy may be as a guy, is you got to rationalize, is that enough for me to throw years and years and years of marriage down the drain for one night to fulfill my lust? No. And on top of that, here's something else you got to consider. Look at how many diseases are out here. Look at how many. You don't know where that person been at. You don't know who she been with. You see what I'm saying? And this real talk I'm giving y'all. You do not know who she been with. You don't know if she been with another female. You don't know this stuff. Anybody can put it on her front, man. Anybody can like sell you a good story, because a lot of things, and I'm gonna say this too, somebody might get mad at me, but I don't care. When a woman sees another woman that has a great man that's being well taken care of, he doing what he's supposed to do for her, and she got everything she need, and she sees that and she wants that, guess what? Jealousy sets in, envy sets in. So depending on what type of person she is, she's gonna do everything that she can to try to like throw the bait and lure you in. And as soon as she's like a wolf or a lioness that's on a prowl, let me see what vulnerable man, let's see what vulnerability I can expose. Oh, got him. And then does she know you laying in bed with her and y'all do y'all thing? It happens a few more times. Y'all got a relationship. She may or may not get pregnant. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, in that scenario, pregnancy can be the killer in that whole thing, because you open up a whole plethora of issues and problems and things that you just don't want to face. But again, when you just decide to lay down with somebody else, again, it's a soul tie there. You're creating an ungodly union with a person, because people think, okay, I gotta go here. People think that just because they fulfill their desire, you know, everything flesh-wise is temporal. It's very, very quick. Notice how many times that you got to eat in a day. All right, whether you eat 3 big meals or 6 small meals for those who are fitness freaks, whatever, or who try to stay fit. You eat, you drink, and then what happens later? A few hours later, you get hungry again, you get thirsty again. Same thing with sex. You know, you may have that orgasm or climax or ejaculation. You feel good for a while, depending on your body's, you know, libido and testosterone for men. It's different for both of us. Excuse me. So at the end of the day, what am I saying? Things of the flesh are temporal. And guess what? Because men, we're visual. After a while, you know what? I got what I want from that one person. Now, let me, depending on what type of man you are, let me go on and entertain this other person. And, excuse me. And then as you know, you have 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, 4, 5. You have multiple women. You still got this one marriage that you just decide to throw in your back closet. And you have a heck of a lot of issues, all because of, man, what's going on with me? What am I trying to appease? What am I trying to attain? And again, and I know that I'm kind of like hitting a lot of areas right now. When it comes to your children, your kids as a man, they can either, man, again, I know I got some brothers, man, that at the end of the day, they don't see their kids because of the mom, because of the bitterness that she has or the brokenness. When I say they really use those kids as leverage to control and pull his heartstrings, that's what they truly do. And so, again, my brothers, because I love y'all. That's why I'm having this conversation. That's why this video is going so long. Because I love you guys that much to tell you the truth about this stuff. All right? At the end of the day, this is why people say, take your time before getting married. Because the thing is, and this is how I personally feel. If you're going to be a player, first of all, whenever you tell certain people these certain lies, make sure that you're smart enough to keep up with every lie, when you said that lie, and on one day you said that lie. Because, let me tell you something, man, about women. Women have, I think God created them with the ability to have this hidden detective capability within their brain and their mind. They can recollect so many conversations, what you had during the conversation, if you wore cologne, what cologne you had on that day, when you said that. And anytime, with, let's say, a certain amount of time passed, and next thing you say something that contradicts what you told her 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and guess what's going to happen? As a built-in, her hidden inner detective sensor kicks in, she's going to dig back. She's going to go follow you on Facebook, Twitter, or Snapchat, whatever, and she's going to put all the pieces together, and then she's going to come to the conclusion, oh, he's seeing somebody else. Oh, he messing around on me. And then when she has all her evidence compiled, it's just like a lawyer in a courtroom. Your Honor, this is what I found. What's up, boy? Hey, this is what I found on the defendant or plaintiff, whatever. Please forgive me. I'm not, I've never been to court, so I don't know how to go. But I think it's the defendant. Okay. So yeah, she's like, hey, this is what the defendant. This is what I found on the defendant. And then you sit there like this, just like the little emoji, like, okay. So, and I know I'm kind of like rambling. Please forgive me, but end of the day, guys, this is what I'm getting at. When you decide to, hey, what's up, Gary? What's up, Jay? What's up, bro, Duke? Aaron, I see you. So that's what I'm getting at. At the end of the day, you got to figure out. You got to weigh your options. And something that y'all probably don't know is that I have a tattoo on my wedding finger. All right, because I am in the military, and sometimes I'm required to take off my ring depending on what I got to do. Because sometimes when we operate heavy machinery, you can get it snagged, and boom, I'm not trying to lose no limbs. So this is what I did personally. All right, and I know quite some other people who've done the same. I tattooed my wife's first initial. Her name starts with a C, and she's my queen. She's like, I'm her king. So I put the queen's crown, which is like right here. I put her letter of her first name under the crown. Why? Because that's not only a commitment to her, but it's a commitment to me to remind me, as if I don't already have it in my heart and mind, that this is forever. I'm going to love you forever. We're going to be married forever. It's till death do us part. That's my commitment to her. It's my commitment to God, my family, my children, the whole nine. My prayer is, yes, I do want to live the rest of my life with her, and that's that. You see what I'm saying? So, why? Because as a man, it is imperative for me to stand by my word. Because guess what? I told y'all early in the stream, I have 4 children. So I got to show a lesson to my oldest daughter. I show a lesson to my oldest son. He has to see a man that can, at the end of the day, wow, he really loves my mom. Wow. And same thing with my daughter. Wow, his love is consistent with my mom. Wow, no matter what. Why? And again, as I said early on in the stream, there's times in which my wife, she can get on my last nerve. I get on her nerves. But guess what? At the end of the day, if I see a stranger rolling up on her, put hands on her, you best believe I'm going to jail. Cause I'm beating that dude down. Hey, man, what you doing? So that's that. And we probably could have been arguing about, who made the who who ate like the last, pint of ice cream or something in the kitchen, you know? Cause there's been times where, she probably like ate my salad that I really wanted. I probably fuss her out about it, but the minute I see somebody else, try to harm my wife or my kids, best believe, I'll bustthead.com. And I tell the officer, yes, sir. I put my hands on the guy. He tried to assault my wife. That's that. And this is why I say that, because when a man, mind you, I'm addressing men because we lead from the front. When the outside world sees a man that is consistent in all of his ways, with his words, his actions, his deeds, thoughts, and mind you, like I said, we could have a whole lot of craziness going on inside my house, but if the public can see that we're united on one team, on one page, one front, guess what? Wow, they're a strong couple. Man, I wonder why they love each other so much. And guess what happens? Because the devil can try to always, play a role too. When you have a unified front as a husband and wife, it's like the Bible says, the 3/4 cord is so hard to break. The 3/4 cord consists of God, you, and your spouse. And after so many times, it's kind of like a rope that gets tied all in together. It gets tight over time. You know what I'm saying? There's a rope, gets intertwined and tightened over a period of time. So anytime somebody will try to come in there and try to rip it apart, they'll have a hard time. You feel me? And one last thing I want to say about that, it just came to my head. And this is why divorce is so dangerous, right? So imagine having two pieces of adhesive tape, right? On this side and this side. So let's say that is a husband and here's a wife, okay? It's a teaching moment, y'all. What happens is this. Over a span of time, you become infused. It takes years and years and years and years of that. That's why I will always be a student of my wife. She's always going to be a student of me. She knows me very well now. I know her very well now. You know what I'm saying? But this is why God hates divorce. This is why divorce is so bad, because people will make a permanent decision on a temporary issue and problem. And let's say that after all those years, the adhesive just gets ripped. Guess what happens, y'all? When you notice when you take off a piece of tape off your car, off a piece of glass, what happens to that tape? Some of the fragments is still going to be on the other part it was sticking to. So what am I saying? In a day, there's going to be parts of the husband that's still going to be inside that wife. There's going to be parts of the wife that's still going to be inside the husband, no matter who he with, no matter what they entertain. This is why I said early on, if you decide to get into a marital relationship, you can't just be laying around with anybody, because you've taken the time to come together at one time. And a marriage doesn't become a real marriage until consummation takes place, or for lack of better words, till y'all have sexual intercourse. You see what I'm saying? So again, wrapping everything up, because I know I said a lot. And I apologize for going this long, but I had to talk to my brothers real quick. Get out the straight talk. There's nothing wrong with being a one-woman man. I take pride in it. Over the years, I've gotten a lot of personal compliments for, lead my family the best way I can. My wife has gotten a lot of good, compliments over the years as well. I mean, in a day, do I have all the answers? No, I don't. I've only been married 6 years. But what helped me be a better husband, a stronger husband, is by talking to OGs of the marriage game, people who've been married longer, like much longer than I have. And when they give me their tips and they put me up on game, I take heed to it. I say, hey man, so sir, especially like the older folks, people that's been married like 50 years. I love talking to them. And because it's so basic. It goes to basic things. Love each other, forgive each other, and communicate. And by them doing those simple principles, they last so long. And it's like nowadays, you don't see people that last that long no more, because people's mentalities is warped, everything is twisted, everything is selfish, more about them. No. Going back to the men, as I've been addressing, as a man, you got to lead from the front. God has created you first. God created Adam first. God didn't create Eve first. When God created Adam, he told Adam to work. He gave Adam work. He gave Adam tasks and things to do. Adam didn't know. He didn't know that he needed a wife. God said it's good for that man to be alone. I'm going to give him a wife. Basically, that's saying that when you have a wife, she should be, keyword should be, an added blessing to your environment. She should be an added blessing to your home. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs that a foolish woman, she tears down her house, but a wise woman, she'll build it up. But again, my brothers, everything starts with you. There's nothing corny about being a one-woman guy. There's nothing corny about, if you guys are single and y'all, at the bar, having your drinks, whatever, and you will go home, but they want to, chase skirts and chase other women. And again, because I tell you what, the older I got, the more and more I've seen women become more attracted to males or to men that had, let's say, that took care of their children. Because there was a point in time to where the fatherless homes were so bad to where some people just turned away from men. Some people turned towards the same sex. Some people just did what they wanted to do. But when people began to see strong men and they leading their families and doing the best they can, that became a turn on to some women, a lot of women. Why? Because they see consistency, they see commitment, they see that, wow, this guy's about his family, he loves his kids, blah, 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 whatever, And sometimes they envy that. But, yeah, thank you, Gary. So, and this is my last point, and I'll shut up. I'm sorry. I promise, guys. So, men, it's the 5 P's, okay? We're the prophets of the home, or priests of the home, protectors, providers, progenitors, and I just said it too. The providers, progenitors, prophet, priest, progenitor, provider, and protector. That's who we are. That's what makes us up as men. All right. So again, guys, look. Summarizing the 3 points. If you're in a committed relationship, even if you're not married, okay, hopefully you have the intention to get married to a person. You shouldn't be with just one person for 10 years and the thought of marriage does not cross your head. That's not good. If you're dating somebody for a long span, a long time, or whatever, as a man, you should not be just getting into any relationship without the intention of getting married. That's just a good rule of thumb. In a day, you should know that you should come to some type of realization or revelation. You know what? I love this girl. I'm gonna make her my wife. You should know right then and there whether she's gonna be the mother of your children or not. Does it take time to reveal that? Yes. I'm not saying rush that, but what I'm also saying is that it doesn't take that long to figure that out. 2, be a man. All right. If you have a wife and a family already, you don't need to be out here chasing and entertaining nobody else. It's not cool to have 5, 6 baby mamas. It's just not. And like 7 children between 3 or 4 different women. In a day, you're going to be broke. You're going to be miserable. And you're going to feel like you need to resort to street life to make ends meet because you may have 2, 3 jobs and you're barely making a living for yourself. You need to come to realize that some women are very petty. They're very, very bitter because of some personal things. So you got to come to the realization that they could very well use the child as a pawn to milk you for more money, and then you're more miserable because she delegates when and where you can see your son or your daughter when court orders that tell you when you can, and because of how it normally is in America, a lot more women have more leeway in that in the legislative aspect of it, or in the in the field of law in that area when it comes to things that cater more so to them because they are the weaker vessel per se. And I don't mean that any disrespectfully, y'all, so don't take that the wrong way. And just honor your word, and that's really what it boils down to. So that's my live stream for this evening, man. Thank you guys for bearing with me for watching. I apologize if I was kind of like all over the place, but in the day, just, you know, seasonal allergies are kicked in today. So it's not the coronavirus, I promise. All right, I'm doing good. So in the day, you know, my inbox is always open. I love you guys, man. Thanks for always watching. Like, share the video. Peace and God bless.